Hey everyone, today I'm going to share my exact timeline from contract to closing on my house in García Ginerés. Now, before I get into the exact dates, I want to talk a little bit about expectation on closing on a house in Mexico. No two closings are the same. It's very unfair to set the expectation that if you sign a contract on this date, within 3 months or 6 months or whatnot, you will have a closing. The reason that is not a fair expectation to set is reasons of title and ownership. Often there is something that needs to be cleared up on the title. The family doesn't have the proper paperwork, someone passed away that was a partial owner and that needs to be dealt with, any number of things. So the title search, if you will, that's the term that we know in the US, the title search is paramount, and that will set the expectation for how quickly your house can close. Also, if you are a foreigner buying and you have to do a fideicomiso, a bank trust, then that will need to be set up, and that also takes a little bit of time. Occasionally you'll find a house for sale where you're buying it from a foreigner who bought it and they already have a fideicomiso in place, and you can assume ownership of that fideicomiso. I do have a video on that titled, Can Foreigners Legally Buy a House in Mexico? And that's where my attorney goes into depth on a fideicomiso. But let's dive into the dates. Okay, so I bought a house in García Ginerés. I'm super duper excited. It's the house I will be living in, and I made an offer on this house on July 17th. I deposited my wire for the funds for the down payment, or earnest money as we call it, on July 20th. So I was Johnny on the spot. Like 3 days later, I was at the bank sending off my deposit. The fideicomiso permit was obtained by my attorney on September 21st. So we're booking along here. This is a really fast timeline. I was in the US when I bought this house, and I bought it sight unseen. So I had to give my attorney power of attorney so that he could sign for me. So I set up the power of attorney on September 18th. And what that involved was me going to the state capitol to get an apostille. And what that involves is I went to an escrow company. I had a notary notarize that I was signing this power of attorney. Then I had to take the notary's signature, drive to the state capitol, just like an hour and a half away, and go to this office where they look up the signature of the notary and they compare it to the signature that they have on file to make sure that nothing shady is going on. And then you send both of those documents, the apostille and the signed power of attorney notarized, to the attorney. So I got that done. That was a little bit of moving around, but I made it happen. So it's a little bit of a weird process. If you are in Mexico and you have somebody that you trust to be your power of attorney, just scratch that out right then and there. I had to do it from the US. That's why I did the apostille. The closing meeting where the family that I was buying from, the sellers and the attorney, met together was on October 8th. And at that point, it's a little odd because nobody wants to sign final documents until the money is sent. So they were there waiting for me to wire the money and all that. And that took place on October 8th. October 10th, I got an email update from my attorney, and it said this. Pardon me, I'm going to read. Yesterday's closing went really smoothly. I got the keys and the bills, which I can provide Eric or Ivan on Monday or whenever they want to pick them up. Also, I'm going to collect the bank's officer signature on Monday morning and should have the certified copy for you. So sure enough, October 21st, title was issued in my name. And I use the word title loosely, right? It's still owned under a bank trust, but for intents and purposes in this video, I'm using the word title. So this is the giant thing. It's really big. That shows that it was done and paid on October 21st, 2020. And this big old thing is, is that document. It's all in Spanish. So I do speak Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish legalese really. But I have a good attorney, a great relationship, somebody I can trust. And I suggest if you're buying a house in Mexico, you do the same. I hope this video was helpful. Do please subscribe, it's very important. And I really appreciate you taking the time.